What is going on, everybody? It's time to do yet another underrated movie review, and remember, this is the first of two I'm going to give you guys this week because I couldn't give you one last week because I was really high on schoolwork. Today's review is going to focus on a film that is very dear to me. It's from two of my favorite people in America and the two greatest satirists of the modern era by far, and this film is Team America, World Police. Now, this film is from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the duo that created South Park and also wrote and directed South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And now these guys have their own Broadway musical out called Book of Mormon, which I would buy a one-way ticket to New York City to see that right now if I could. The film itself is a parody of big-budget action films and their stereotypes and cliches. And it's also a satire of how people implicate global politics revolving around war, and also how international and domestic policies say how the United States is trying to police the world all the time. In the film, you have this team called Team America, in which they police the world, basically. A stunt goes wrong in France, in which they lose one of their members during a gunfight, and that's when they decide to recruit this actor, Gary. They want him to infiltrate this Taliban organization or something like that to see what's happening with nuclear weapons, because one has been stolen, and it's been stolen by Kim Jong-il, who's planning a world terrorist attack. Now, if you can't tell right now, I am a huge South Park fan, of course, which is the main reason why I also saw this film years ago. And I freaking love Team America World Police. It is one of the greatest comedies I've ever watched. The one thing that they do different in this film than most comedies, of course, is the use of puppets. While it is pretty weird at some points for all the stuff that they get them to do throughout, it is very original in a way. Yet again, it's really cheesy, but it's meant to be like that. Everything's meant to be as politically incorrect as possible in this film, and that's what makes Trey Parker and Matt Stone one of the two greatest comic duos in America. The film has very, very funny moments, whether it involves just saying cuss words in a very weird way, or the typical over-the-top humor that they use in South Park is seen here and there. This movie has something that you don't really get to see very often out of most comedies. I have seen this movie 7 times now. And it surprises me because it gets funnier every time I watch it. If you watch it when you're young, you're not going to really recognize all of the stuff that they're making fun of in this film. But the more you watch it and the older you get, you're going to laugh a lot more. I just saw it another time a few weeks ago because my mom had never seen it. And I laughed more than ever this time. I mean, this movie just gets funnier every time I watch it. It takes a lot for a comedy to do that for me, too. Now, of course, there are some very famous songs in this film, like America F Yeah. If I say the word, my parents will delete my account for sure because they watch my videos, of course. There's also I'm So Ronery, which is sung by one of the most hilarious Kim Jong-il impressions I have seen, of course, which was by one of the guys, Parker. Pearl Harbor Sucked and I Missed You is one of the funniest ones. I laughed so hard when I watched the movie again when I listened to that one. I don't think every South Park fan is going to enjoy the film, though, because the humor is a bit different than South Park is. Every single individual that they make fun of in this film is just priceless. Whether it's Peter Jennings, Hans Blix, Kim Jong-il, Matt Damon, Alec Baldwin, Ethan Hawke, Samuel Jackson, Danny Glover, Helen Hunt. There are so many people that get made fun of in this film, and also one bit that's really funny is how Michael Moore, you know, the very liberal filmmaker out there for documentaries, he is made fun of in a very great way, too. It's one of the funniest scenes in the movie, too. To get to how this film is underrated, though, it's because how many people saw this film? It made only like $30-something million in the United States box office, and its total gross was only $53 million, even for the great reviews it did get. I have a feeling that this movie's going to go on underrated for years because I still know so many people that did not see it, but it still remains as one of the funniest movies that I have ever seen in my life. And stemming from that, I'm a huge South Park fan. It's impossible to be disappointed by these two because they are just so funny at what they do. Like, they make politically incorrect stuff in the funniest way possible. And if you haven't watched South Park yet, you definitely have to get into it then. I'm going to give Team America World Police 4.5 out of 5 stars. It still remains as one of the funniest and most entertaining comedies I've ever seen. And if you haven't watched South Park or this yet, you are missing out on the two greatest satirists of our modern era, that being Trey Parker and Matt Stone. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Team America World Police. Come back Wednesday where I'll do another review in which it'll be for a film I bet not many of you have ever heard of before either. And also, I'll be seeing Source Code early on Wednesday, so expect a review for that late on Wednesday night too. In the meantime, I'm Tyler from Cali Critic Reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Matt Damon!